Thank you for coming. And we're going to have to be very brief. We're a little bit behind schedule, but we are here honoring the recognition of Juneteenth. We now have it as a state holiday here in Nevada. Perhaps I should introduce myself. I am the Nevada State Director of the Juneteenth Foundation and also for the Juneteenth Holiday Campaign. Still, 10 states within the area do not recognize Juneteenth. We have a petition at the front desk. We're going to ask you to sign if you have that signed. And we are also working on national holiday through Congress. We're still trying to get the national Juneteenth holiday passed. So please sign the petition at the front desk. Now, at this time, I would like to introduce Reverend Ronald V. Myers, Sr., MD, who is the national head and founder, chairman of the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation, who will tell us a little more, who's a little bit experienced in doing this. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. I'll give a round of applause. Honored to be back in Las Vegas. This is my third trip. We made the to make sure Nevada passes the special day, National Freedom recognized in the state of Nevada. Again, 2 years ago, I believe here, with Martin Luther King, and I came and I spoke about Martin Luther King, and I spoke about Juneteenth, rights movement. But you know, civil rights movement was a very important movement because it brought down areas of Jim Crow. However, this country still has some ways to go to deal with the major problem, which was its slave legacy. Over 10 million Africans during the Middle Passage lost their lives as they traveled to America and South America. We got to remember the Caribbean nations because only 6% of the enslaved Africans came to America. 94% ended up in places like Haiti, Dominican Republic, Brazil. And, President Obama declared June as Caribbean Heritage Month, and we started on June 8th. Wait, please don't tell us. I didn't say nothing bad, so report. I didn't say nothing. This is my Illinois director. She said she's going to get upset with me by saying anything bad about her president. I said he did. We have a project now celebrating the Atlantic Freedom Day celebrations of all our people in North and South America. And so we're celebrating Juneteenth and the Caribbean Heritage Month by celebrating our Freedom Days. And I believe Haiti started off as a group of enslaved Africans, started off like a year. But we recognize the 19th of June is the day that we're going to celebrate our freedom from slavery in America. And so we began 2 years ago, started a petition drive. You know, I got a little taste of your Las Vegas summer because I almost fainted out there. I'm glad I'm inside now. Not yet, okay, good. As long as it stays cool in here. But it's an honor for me to travel here. Now, we have 39 states. We have 11 to go. State senators in Alabama, they're still in session, believe it or not. I think they're the latest meeting legislature in the country. He's going to try to have his legislation until about the 19th of June. We've gotten 6 pieces of legislation passed by Congress. First, in 1997, the first official legislation passed by the United States Congress to recognize the end of slavery in the history was sponsored by Tremont, J.C. Watts, Republican in the House, in 1997. And you can say Juneteenth Independence Day, because that's the language that Congress uses to recognize Juneteenth. Now remember, that was a language that was sponsored by one of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, co-sponsored by Grant. June 19th is recognized as Juneteenth Independence Day. So, we're also celebrating Black Music Month, celebrating Juneteenth jazz, preserving our African American jazz legacy. So I'm here as a national Juneteenth jazz artist to celebrate the legacy of Monk Montgomery, the founder of the Las Vegas Jazz Society. And we're also going to be back in Indianapolis with Dr. Larry Ridley to honor all 3 Montgomery brothers in October, I believe it's October 21st, at their home in Indianapolis. Also, Galib Galab, who was born in Chicago and has been an outstanding musician here in Las Vegas. Monk Montgomery was born in Indianapolis, Indiana, but he gave his legacy in life here in Las Vegas. So, having me, never let a president know anything.
To present Dr. Myers with a copy of our Juneteenth State Bill, which I received from the Governor, Brian Sandoval, last month, a pen from the Governor, and also a photo that we took at the signing. Thank you very much. And now we'd like to get a couple words from Mr. Frank Leone from the Vegas Jazz, who is also here.
Hi, nice to see everybody. The Vegas Jazz, as we call ourselves now, because it's easy to say, it was founded by Monk Montgomery in 1975, and out there at our table we have a few of our board members, A.J. Brennan, who've been helping out, Samantha Badgley, who's is the well-known bass player Bob Badgley, Carolyn Freeman, and Judy Tart, who is also a member, and Mimi Williams. And Judy Tart is one of the original board members when Monk founded this. So,
Is that right?
yeah. So and she's the one responsible for the nice display that you have about regarding Monk Montgomery and all the photos that you see on that display out there. For those of you who, the Montgomery brothers, the most illustrious one, of course, was Wes Montgomery, the great guitar player, and his other brother, Buddy, was a very fine pianist, and of course, Monk. Monk was distinguished as, I would say, a pioneer for switching the jazz, bass playing wise. He pioneered the use of the Fender bass, the electric bass, as opposed to hauling around the large upright. Monk was really one of the original driving forces to play what they call Fender. There are lots of other companies now, but Monk, that was Monk's great innovation at the time, and it was a wonderful thing. The society was founded to honor musicians locally and present concerts with dignity, which was Monk's concept. Dignity meaning you got paid for it. and we still do that. We shy away from playing for the door, monk like that, or free jams and stuff like that on a regular basis, occasional basis for a charity, something, but for clubs to take advantage of musicians, not paying them, he frowned on that, and we continue with that philosophy. Regarding Juneteenth itself, this is my theory, but I'll be happy to share it with you. Regarding the emancipation of the slaves, if that had not happened, it's my feeling, we would not have jazz. It would not have opened up the door to instrumental music. Instead, you would have had a picture of people continually enslaved to this day, relegated simply to chanting, or in the fields, or not being allowed to have education, learning instruments, and development. So you can imagine what an immense thing this is, that the emancipation allowed people to have the freedom to now pursue other things, and including, not excluding music, which on an instrumental basis, as opposed to whatever they did within the confines of slavery. So that's something to think about and realize the importance of what this opened up. Now we ended up with a whole new art form, which is fantastic. And the walls outside in the hall, they're dotted, only a smidgen of the thousands of people who have participated and contributed to the form. And also, if you want to think about it, in America, the emancipation allowed the black people to enter all fields of music. In the classical field, the names are legendary. My own Philadelphia town, Marian Anderson's birthplace, and her nephew, the well-known conductor James DePriest, and Dorothy Maynard, and the list goes on and on. The pianist Andre Watts, Wadajin Pratt, and so forth. None of this would have been possible if there had not been this emancipation. So that's something to really think about, and the importance of that. Regarding, it's my understanding that Monk's two sons are supposed to be here. They're driving in from LA, and if they don't make it in time, I had presented, I have something for the family, which is, we made this plaque, which I'll read to you. Vegas Jazz, Las Vegas Jazz Society, proudly commemorates Juneteenth on behalf of its founder, William Howard Monk Montgomery, October 10, 1921 to May 20th, 1982. Presented to the family of Monk Montgomery in honor and remembrance, June 4th, 2011. We couldn't get all the words on we have another scroll proclamation, which I will read to you, which says, Vegas Jazz in remembrance to the family of Monk Montgomery. Jazz and Juneteenth are joined symbiotically in their mutual embrace of freedom, one representing the freeing of people, the other reflecting the joy of that people's freedom of artistic expression through the joy of its great music, jazz. Therefore, Vegas Jazz proudly commemorates Juneteenth on behalf of its founder, William Howard Monk Montgomery. Jazz is the music of freedom, freedom of ideas, freedom of emotion, freedom of spontaneous expression. In short, freedom of the infinite. The organization he founded in 1975 still thrives and celebrates his memory. Juneteenth represents the doors to infinity opening to African Americans. Rejoice in honor and remembrance of William Howard Monk Montgomery, June 4th, 2011. Vegas Jazz. Thank you.
thank you so much. This is why we are here in terms of celebrating Juneteenth and the commitment we've made as a national movement organization to honor our African American jazz legacy. And so we also honor our African American military legacy. We have a record number of Juneteenth flag raising ceremonies across the country. I just left yesterday our Juneteenth flag ceremony in Jackson, Mississippi. And then we had the contingent of retired black veterans who raised the flag there in a ceremony that we're going to have here around 2 o'clock. So the FedEx truck gets run down because I put the flags in there. But if you read the Emancipation Proclamation, which we do and will do today at the Juneteenth flag raising ceremony, several mentions from Abraham Lincoln's proclamation about the military in terms of the freed, our freed ancestors serving in the military. In fact, it was a black freedman by the name of Crispus Attucks was the first American to die in the Revolutionary War of 1776 that we celebrate in 1776 by our 4th of July freedom celebration for the country. So African Americans have shed their blood for freedom since the first American to die in the Revolutionary War, Crispus Attucks, that we celebrate on the 4th of July. And so we always work hard to keep that legacy of our sacrifice, because a lot of people, when they think of George Washington's army, did you know that George Washington's first group of men he gathered to fight for our freedom, that 1 out of 5 were black freedmen? But you don't see that reflected in the movies. In fact, there was a George Washington's #1 chief aide, a black man that froze to death trying to keep his horse alive and functioning. We also must take into consideration that even in our present conflicts, the black soldiers always played a key role most of the time on the front line. And so we traveled up to, before I present this award to the Buffalo Soldiers of the 9th and 10th Cavalry, I just left Canada, British Columbia. We were there for several days to honor the African American Army engineers who built the Alcan Highway. Anybody heard that story? I don't know nothing about it until I went to Alaska about 3 years ago. I got a group, I got a director and a committee in all 50 states. So they called me up for a Alaska Juneteenth convention. And there, my folks from Fairbanks and Anchorage who celebrate Juneteenth for years. And we at the library, I was handing out books, and guess who comes walking in? 4 state troopers. Sarah Palin, Governor Palin comes walking in with her husband, the first dude. And she told a story about these black soldiers that built the Alcan Highway. How she just recently signed legislation to recognize them with a Memorial Bridge. That's my life. I said, what? So I went to doing some studying on all these black soldiers that built the Alcan Highway. They built the highway in 78 units. And the highway had to be built to protect the country from invasion by the Japanese through the Aleutian Islands. This country was attacked in World War II by the Japanese. So they pulled together 4 regiments, the 93rd, the 95th, the 97th, and the 388th. Black men from Alabama, Florida, working in negative 80-degree weather, many of them freezing to death, working in segregated units. And I went to the very base camp up in British Columbia, Fort St. John, and they showed me pictures of their camp. They didn't let the brothers have it. They took all the stoves away from the brothers. All the white soldiers had stoves and they had camps, but they didn't have them. They took the equipment away from them. Anyway, to make a long story short, on October 28th, 1942, their crowning achievements, they completed the Sickety Chief River Bridge in 3 days when their white officers betted against them and they could never get the bridge done. They did that bridge in 3 days with axes and chains, no heavy equipment. The white military commander was so moved by what they accomplished that he ordered his white officers to eat with the black enlisted men. The first step toward ending segregation in the military, and it got only to the president and to the leaders in the military, and segregation officially ended in the U.S. military in 1947 because of these soldiers. So we are committed to always acknowledging the sacrifice of our black military all the way back to the first death and bloodshed for freedom in American history, Christmas addicts, honoring the Buffalo Soldiers of the 9th and 10th Cavalry. There are three groups of black soldiers that we should always remember. The Buffalo Soldiers, the Tuskegee Airmen, and I'm making a tremendous effort of remembering the African American Army engineers who built the Alcan Highway, ending segregation in the U.S. military. But this time, Brother Armstrong. This is the second time this award has been presented. It's the second time this award is being presented. The first time was in Congress. Last year, I presented the National Juneteenth Military Honors Award with many members of Congress. In the Capitol, I honored an old gentleman by the name of Albert Lake. He's 94 years old, he's still living. He's one of the few surviving members of the black soldiers who built the Alcan Highway. So we gave him that award, 94, he's still kicking. And I'll never forget, he was telling stories about those mosquitoes up there in Atlanta. I went up there myself, he wasn't lying. So we're presenting to the Buffalo Soldiers 9th and 10th Cavalry the National Military Honors Award in recognition of the legacy and contributions of the Buffalo Soldiers to fight for all of America's freedom. Sure.
We should also remember the triple nickels. The first black American paratroopers. They should be honored as well.
I'm glad you say that because now it's time for the commercial break. Our sponsor, our first National Juneteenth sponsor is Our Heritage magazine. Okay, it's a new magazine that's focusing on our African American heritage with a focus on the military. Okay? And Sarah L. Keyes was focused on her first issue. You read about her. The next issue that's coming out is going to have a story about the black women who fought in World War II. Did you know that? Okay, that's coming out in the next issue. So I want you to get the magazine, and I believe he's doing the story I just mentioned. Now, I remember him, the publisher of the magazine, what's the brother's name?
So when he finishes...
Don't tell him I forgot his name.
Mr.
Mr. Fagan, look at me. Don't tell him, please. I was just making sure you knew his name. That's what I was doing. Brother Fagan, I think, is doing the story in his next issue or upcoming issue. But look, y'all get this magazine. It comes out twice a year. It's online.